He's supposed to be Turkish. Some say his father was German. Nobody ever believed he was real. Nobody ever knew him or saw anybody that ever worked directly for him.
Huh? That guard did what? By the beast's fangs, he deserves to hang. Go away. I don't have time to waste with the likes of you. That man must answer for his crimes.
But to hear Kobayashi tell it, anybody could have worked for Soze. You never knew. That was his power. The greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing the world he didn't exist.
Alright boys, I'm going to show you a little trick as to how you can amass yourself a vast fortune in Wartales with relatively low risk, provided you do it right. I mean, if you a little bit reckless with this, it becomes a high risk, high reward kind of situation. But if you take your time to do it right, you can pretty much get the risk down to zero and steal with impunity using the usual suspects technique. So what we're going to do is we're going to steal some more goods here and get our suspicion back up. Presently, the guard is not looking for us because we turned over one of the guard members, which I believe is something in the paths. Let's see if I can find it here. Scapegoats. Throwing unanimous accusations all at once can make just about anyone seem guilty. When you have to hand over a companion to the guard, there is a chance the member of the guard will be picked instead. The troop then loses only one suspicion star. So we'll lose only one suspicion star, but the nice thing is the guard stops looking for us for a time. So that is handy, helpful. But anyway, I'll show you guys the trick. So essentially, we want to get our wanted level up to max level. So what we're going to do is we are going to steal, I guess we'll steal the silver. It's the most valuable thing here. And all right, so our wanted level is full. Now, the next thing you want to do is if you want to optimize, well, I say optimize, but the safest way to do this, if you don't want to lose your goods, is to launder everything before you turn in one of your companions. What you can do when you're visiting towns is you can rest safely, 100% safely, without getting caught by the guard within the town. Now, this is obviously going to burn up some of your food, but if you, every time you turn in one of your companions to the guard, there's a possibility that the guard will search you. And when they search you, you'll either have to turn over your goods or fight them. I definitely don't recommend fighting them because basically we're running with a squad that is completely defenseless. The whole purpose of this is turning in companions that are expendable and dropping everything down to zero, the suspicion level, and then repeating the process, stealing more goods. So if the guard confiscates your goods, then it's cutting into your profits. So food is pretty cheap. Oh, one thing to note as well. So this little trick is going to require you to have a lot of influence. So candied fruit and alcohol are very, very important to keeping your happiness up, or your influence up. And in fact, actually, you know what? Is that your companions, when you turn someone into the guard, I recommend having a minimum of 4 companions in your group. Otherwise, you're rolling the dice a little bit because things could go sideways. If you end up getting captured, your last companion, it's GG. So, all right, let's just rest and get these goods laundered. So, be good to have these guys by the campfire to help gain happiness, and we will put our cook by the cooking pot just to lower our food consumption a little bit, because we're going to burn through quite a bit of food. All right, finally. Actually, you know what I forgot to do also is I forgot to clean out the tavern of booze. You're gonna need lots of booze. Your companions are gonna become alcoholics throughout this. She's only got that. In any case, all right, we're gonna hire another companion, and this is something else to note: is before you hire your companion, you just want to sit your couple of your guys down here at the travel post, because it'll be cheaper for your companion, both in terms of influence and happiness. So the good thing about sitting here and resting like that is it gives us the opportunity to build up our influence in the meantime as well. So usually what I look for is whoever's got the lowest wages. Carrying capacity is nice too, but
my services aren't free.
The wage, yeah, you want to reduce your expenses as much as possible.
I'd like to discover new places.
All right, so it was the this lady
my
right here.
My services aren't free, but I guarantee you will be.
All right, there we go. And she doesn't need her gear. We can sell that.
I'm concerned about the vineyard disease. It's confined.
And let's go pick up the other companions. And as I said before, you don't want to turn anyone into the guard until you've actually until you have at least 4 people in your group, just in case something goes wrong. Now, we could turn in all the we could sell these goods right now, and especially our carrying capacity is a little bit low. But I just want to demonstrate that the guard can't take our goods here, and yeah, the guard is never round when you want them. But anyway, we'll just wait for them. They're gonna show up eventually. There they are. Perfect. Actually, don't want to get too far from the town. And here they come.
You are wanted for a number of crimes. We will not let you go until you have paid the fines you owe.
You can actually persuade them as well. This is something that you can unlock along the way, so you can spend influence to convince them to let you go. But we're going to accuse someone. Yeah, it's nice to bank the influence until you have a party that you actually care about and that you're actually going to be using in the campaign.
You'll have to
but
pay
there we go. We've turned them in.
Keep your nose
Suspicions down to 0. We're free to steal again, and then we've got all of these goods to sell, and they won't bother us. Now, there's a couple things with the goods. What you could do, obviously, is try and find the best location to sell, or you can just sell everything immediately just to get the profit and to get your carrying capacity down, so that you can just like really abuse this system. But we'll just sell this stuff here, and then I'm gonna hold on to the other stuff because we'll be able to sell it for bigger profit elsewhere. But there you go, we're up to 6k. We've got all of those goods, and then in the traveling post, I've just been, all the merchants I've been running into, I've just been clearing out everything and just banking resources. So I'm starting to stock up all of my travel posts. And I literally, in this campaign, I've literally done nothing but steal goods, turn people in, and rinse and repeat. And just, yeah, now, like I said, like I've established the trading posts, and I'm starting to just build up supplies for when I actually want to start the campaign. So yeah, that's essentially it. I would say if you're starting, I recommend either starting in Arthez or Tiltrin. That way you can cross the border and you can access the fence. When you kick this campaign off, like when you start right away doing this, escaping the guard is going to be really difficult. And so you don't ever want to get caught by the guard when you have stolen goods, because like I said, they will confiscate the goods. So initially you'll probably want to sell everything to the fence here. Oh, sorry, the fence is right here, Lakeside Camp. You can sell everything right there. And the nice thing is you've got trade goods you can steal there, which are very valuable. Basically, you want to be stealing everything that's the most valuable. You've also got the Brotherhood's training ground, your skills and abilities. Those are worth quite a bit, so you can do that early on. And then at the border crossing, there's a trader who has some trade goods as well. You can steal those from him. And then down here in Cortia, you have trade goods as well. So bouncing between these four locations, very, very easy. You get your pittance set up in the areas as much as possible, and then you can access the fence right away, build a small, modest bankroll, and then you can start opening the trade posts and start linking up your other networks. So that's essentially it, guys. I hope this was helpful. Just a few things to note. Like I said, influence. You'll want as much influence as possible because you're going to be recruiting companions constantly. So to do that, you will need the candied fruit is really, really useful, and you basically want to be buying alcohol everywhere you can. The recipe for candied fruit is at the tavern in Cortia. Another recipe that'll be really useful for you is the apple pancake, because you'll be traveling quite a bit. You get the recipe for that in Stromcap. And of course, the seed sausage. When you do sell your goods, you want to make maximum profits. So you want to get the recipe for seed sausage, which you can find at the Tavern of Fortune's Made, which you'll find in Gothenburg as well. Something else to note as well is in Gothenburg, you cannot rest safely in Gothenburg 100%. It's the one city in the game that I know of where you can't rest, but there's plenty of places, castles, the towns, Bronwick Town, you can rest there as well. Yeah, where you'll be able to get your goods laundered completely safely. Another thing that's really important is distracting and negotiating. So when you get stopped by bandits and when you get caught by animals, you want to definitely make sure you have some food on hand to distract animals, and you want to make sure you have a little bit of influence and a little bit of cash in the bank in order to distract enemies that are able to catch you when you're traversing the map. I mean, if you stay close to the roads, you shouldn't have too much trouble escaping folks, but occasionally you'll get caught, and if you end up in a fight and you have to run, it's going to cost you a lot of medicines to heal folks. Though you don't necessarily need to heal these guys because they're going to be turned over to the guard in any case. Another thing to note, I think it's fairly obvious, but it's worth mentioning, is the number of ponies. The more ponies you have, the more carrying capacity, but just be careful about food. But I mean, money becomes essentially meaningless because you're making so much. So the food is really a low cost. So having a lot of ponies, definitely a good idea. And yeah, also worth noting, in this campaign, I haven't spent a lot of time placing down pittance, but it is certainly worth your while, especially like if you want to focus on a specific area. Like this area could get a lot of work done here between the four areas, so just get pittance everywhere so you can easily escape the guard, and so that you can also move more quickly across the land. But anyway, guys, I think that's it. I think I've pretty much covered everything. I hope you find this helpful, and I'm really interested to see what you guys do with this, because I feel like there's a number of different ways that you could use this and potentially optimize it. I'm still kind of working the kinks out, but this is as far as I could say, like probably my best version of how this works. But yeah, so long as you do it right, you can get the risk down to 0 and just build up a huge fortune, and then when you're ready to make your run, recruit the companions. Be really particular about the companions that you recruit, and you'll have like heaps and heaps of supplies that you can use to conquer the game. Get your troop all geared up. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Otto out.
There are 3 kinds of beings: the living, the dead, and the pirates. We do not bow to kings or obey petty lords. We will send your ships into the abyss. No wave can wash the blood off our swords. We take what is ours. We take Valerian. We take it all.